that you need it, how bad you really want it. What, how bad you really want it.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Tanisha, and I am back at it again with the Back at It Again. And today I have a special guest. It's my boyfriend's sister. Her name's Shai. She's a model and she's helping me out. So enjoy this start to finish natural beat that I'm gonna be doing on her. And also, I'm gonna be telling y'all a little bit about how I got started in the makeup game, why I'm here, and all that good stuff. So let's get it. So growing up, I'm originally from Antioch, California. I grew up in the Bay Area, so 925 was popping. Yeah, my mom and her friends, they were mostly in the entertainment industry. Most of her friends and her were. And my mom, she did a couple things like with hair modeling and working with her hairstylist, Brownie, for a couple things like photo shoots or whatever. So I've seen mostly like my mom and her friends being pampered and living like a certain type of lifestyle, like always, you know, having to look a certain type of way. And I think like mentally for me, I was a chubby kid, so seeing those types of women all the time, naturally I think that's just what I wanted to look like. And I always knew that once I was allowed to, you know, explore what it was to be a woman, because my mom kept me in my childhood for as long as she could, like kept me being a little girl as long as she could. Like I wasn't allowed to wear red nail polish, lipstick, none of that extra shit. I couldn't do none of that. I couldn't have the Aaliyah swoop when I wanted to and everybody else had it. So she made sure that like my hair was always fit my age. So everything always had, like clothes wise, like wearing any type of lip gloss, anything like that was all child, like it was my age appropriate. But once I became of age, it was a wrap. Once I was allowed to wear makeup and I was allowed to buy that, or it was being bought for me, it was a wrap. So a lot of the time, like I was just playing volleyball. I played for my high school and my AAU team at the same time. So most of my schedule was volleyball. If I wasn't in school, I was doing something volleyball related, whether it was practice or a game or a tournament. If it wasn't that, then I had individual lessons or whatever. Like I was just always in the game. But if I wasn't doing that, my hobbies consisted of anime, like reading anime comic strips and stuff like that, or manga. Like I was really big into manga strips, and I started trying to draw those characters. I don't even know where it came from. Like I just started trying to recreate those characters, and I started developing my own characters and trying to come up with my own comic strips and stuff like that. And I was just really, really interested in art. I remember I had this teacher, I don't remember her name, but I can still see her. Like she was this 5'4" little Caucasian lady with this brown pixie haircut that was like always super shaggy. Like it looked like she never brushed her hair like a day in her life. I don't know why, but she was an art teacher, so you know, sometimes they'd be a little like, you know, all over the place. Especially when you're like middle school and high school, your teacher's kind of weird. But she was so cool. Like I guess probably because she knew I really loved art, but she was trying to get me to kind of buy into her system and like follow her rules and stuff in class, because I kind of just did my own thing. Like I was always talking in class. She would give us an assignment like, oh, y'all gotta draw this today. I'll draw whatever I want. Like I'm drawing my characters, I'm creating my characters. Or she was even my pottery teacher, so everybody else would be doing one part of the project and we were only supposed to be doing that part of the project that day, but I would go 7 steps ahead just because I could and I wanted to and I knew what I was doing. So I think like she was trying to get me to kind of like her and follow her rules. So she gave me a bunch of like art supplies like out of her cabinet, whatever. She gave me this huge sketch pad and some really nice pencils, like, and the charcoal pencils and all that stuff, like. And then she would try to work with me like in between classes, because most of the time I would just be like, oh yeah, I gotta go to the bathroom, and then I'm just walking around the hallways, and then she would catch me. But yeah, so my art teacher, she was cool, and she would like, you know, try to put me on and stuff like that with my craft and help me perfect my craft and stuff. And I don't know, somehow my art tied into makeup. But when you think about it, like painting a canvas is not that much different than doing makeup. You're really just painting someone's face. But like, I had this opportunity to go to NYU. My parents took me on a visit to NYU, and because I thought I wanted to go to school for design, but I also really wanted to play volleyball. And when I found out that NYU wasn't going to be able to give me a volleyball scholarship and didn't have a competitive program, I was not going for that, because I knew volleyball wasn't something I was ready to let go of yet. And so yeah, I went to Appalachian State instead. That's the first school that I signed to, and then I transferred to Tennessee State, the Tennessee State University in Nashville, Tennessee. And I kept going my volleyball career there. But yeah, so art's always been with me. The love of the beauty industry and the desire to be pampered has always been with me. That lifestyle has always been something that I've desired. But also with that, like, I grew up, you know, being able to be a little girl for a good portion of my life and you know, stay young for a good portion of my life. So people that I was watching on TV was like Tyra Banks and Kimora Lee Simmons. But Tyra, she had this movie she was in with Lindsay Lohan. I think it came out in like 2000, like around that time. But it was like this fantasy type of movie where Tyra Banks plays this doll called Eve, and Eve comes to life. And Lindsay Lohan, I think her name was Katie, this little girl she was kind of different like me. Like, she was on the football team, she was a quarterback, and she was just abnormal for a little girl. But she lost her mom, and she kind of had some like attitude issues, low key. But Eve, her dad gets her this doll, and Eve comes to life, and Eve is like this doll that she's living in this fantasy where everything's perfect. And what's the place she was called? The place she came from was called like Sunnydale or Sunnyvale, something like that, something sunny. And I don't know, Eve just had this effect on the kids, like in the movie, where she can make them feel special, make them feel loved, make them feel like, you know, they were part of something bigger than just themselves, and everything was okay and all this stuff. So I think, like, with me being the kid that was constantly moving around, constantly going to a new school, always trying to make new friends, trying to keep those friends, trying to keep in touch with friends, you know, feeling like I was missing out on certain stuff because I didn't have a consistent relationship with like my biological dad, stuff like that. Like, I could relate to that movie. And I think when I was coming up with a name for my brand and my business, I was thinking like, dang, like, what am I gonna call it? What am I gonna like, what is my company's name gonna be? And I wanted it to be something I could use across the board for anything I wanted to do, because I know that the type of person I am, like, it's hella stuff that I want to get into, like, and most of it ties back to my art, like being able to be a creator. So like with making the plushie merchandise, or doing lashes, doing makeup, doing hair, like wig installs, any of that stuff, or anything that I want to do. Like, I'm not even gonna spill the beans on everything I'm working on, but I needed a universal name. I needed something that could work with everything. And I was like, okay, like, what's my brand? What is my goal? Who am I catering to? Okay. And when it came down to it, like, I had some things like that I wanted to do for other people that were similar to Eve, like make them feel good, make them feel confident in their skin, make them feel, you know, beautiful, accepted, welcome, all of that good stuff. So it just tied into the movie. It's like life-size experience. Okay, boom, that's it right there. Really, it started off life-size beauty, but when I decided that I wasn't gonna limit myself, I added experience to it. And like, with that being said, like, another part of it is I've been a consumer for so long. And when I say a consumer, I'm talking about like going and getting my nails done, my hair done, my lashes done. I've gotten my makeup done professionally, even though I'm capable of doing it. Like, I just felt like it's a luxury service that I wanted to be pampered with, like talking about how I was talking about earlier with my mom and her friends. Like, those are the things that they would do on a schedule, you know what I'm saying? Like, they had routine appointments. And like, I've been in situations where I felt like, okay, I just want to spend $140 on lashes, and I'm not happy with how the girl was, like how she treated me, or dang, like she didn't even seem grateful when I handed her a $15 tip, $20 tip on top of the $140 service. Like, it might not sound a lot, but for everybody, like everybody don't feel the same way about money. When I spend my money, just know, like I care about my money. And I'm not greedy, but I definitely do care about the time I put in to get it, or like however I had to get it. Like, you're not gonna just act like I was supposed to give you that tip. You know what I'm saying? Like, make me feel like special. Make me feel like you earned it. Make me feel like, yeah, I need to give her this little extra something. So a big part of the name too was making sure people knew like what I'm about. You're about to get a life-size experience with anything you do that's related to me. Anytime you tap in with Tanisha, you're gonna get a life-size experience. I'm gonna treat you like Eve was treating everybody. I might not sound like her all the time. I'm a little bit more rough around the edges than a Barbie doll in a movie, but I'm definitely gonna make sure you feel like, okay, that was worth it. And I want to be memorable. I want to leave a stamp in your mind like, oh yeah, I'm going back to life size. And that's what everybody deserves, you know what I'm saying? Like, when you're going to get these luxury services, like, you expect top tier customer service. I think with me being a retired veteran, like, I think I also pull a lot from the structure that I was given in the military. Like, it's really important to me that I'm prompt. It's really important to me that I'm following like regulations. Like, by regulations, I mean like the rules. So like, that's why I'm very adamant about recommending people take these classes more than one time. Like, go really get the tea, get the scoop, get all the notes, the bullet points you might have missed. Like, you might want to refresh on. Know that like the back of your hand, because at the end of the day, it just makes you that much better for your client. And I think the like promptness part of it is really important too, because I think that my clients appreciate that I am very on top of my scheduling and reaching out to them and making sure that their sets are lasting, or that they're happy with their experience, or let me know what your feedback is so we can make it better the next time. And that's something that we did in the military. Like, they might not have been able to change everything. We were letting them know we didn't like while we were in service, but they did put out, we had our briefs, and we had the times when we would sit down and fill out the paperwork, like answering questions about the unit or whatever we might want to see changes with. That's how I am with my customers, my clients, because I can't grow if I don't ask like the people that I'm servicing. They're the only ones that are gonna keep it real with me, because yeah, I could tell myself, ooh, I killed that, or ooh, yeah, she looking like a baddie, I know I did my thing, da 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 da. But at the end of the day, it's like, what was that person's perspective? So also having like that thick skin that I think that volleyball, the military, and my mom helped me build up is really good for me in this industry, in this business, because I'm able to take constructive criticism and just criticism in general from other people when it comes to my art now. I'll just ask them as soon as they get up, like, if you're wondering how to do it, if you're an artist too and you're wondering how do I get feedback, all you gotta do when they're done is be like, first of all, body language, boom. If you're too scared to say something right away, just look at the person. Like, don't be weird, don't just stare at them, but you know what I'm saying, like, just look at them, like trying to pick up on their vibe, scan the energy that's going over them. How are they looking at themselves? Like, do they seem like kind of off? Are they feeling it? And if you could work up that confidence at some point, just be like, hey, so let me know, like, what are you feeling? Do you want me to change anything? You want me to add anything? You want me to fix anything? How are you feeling? Because at the end of the day, it's just gonna make you that much better. And like what I'm talking about, when my mom built up that thick skin of mine, like, she didn't always say it in the most easy ways for me to receive, but those types of conversations with clients help you too, because you have to be able to respond to different types of people, and you have to be able to work with different types of people. And some people's like this is the client, mind you, so it's not really their job to control their delivery. It's really your job to control your response. So just be open to that and just recognize, like, yeah, you might think you're, the shiznai and everything like that, but you're gonna have to grow at some point to stay in the game. Like, you don't stay in the game by staying stagnant. I think that the last factor I would include in my journey to, becoming an entrepreneur and getting into the business, like the makeup / beauty industry, is that when I was finding out, when I first found out that I was gonna have to go through a med board with the Army and they were gonna try to figure out if I was still fit for duty, I kind of started being like, dang, what am I gonna do now? Because I had been in for, about 3-4 years at that point, and then my final time in, I was in for 5.5 years, 5 years some change. And yeah, I just didn't know what was gonna come next because I had already done the college thing. I really didn't want to go to school for the education part. I went to school because I wanted to play volleyball. That's, the truth. And I knew that I wasn't gonna pick back up with my volleyball career, and I knew I didn't want to go have just a regular 9-to-5 for the rest of my life. And people were telling me yeah, you're gonna get, if you get medically separated, then you get all these benefits and whatnot, but I'm not the type of person that's just about to live off of no disability. So I had to take my gifts that God gave me and my hobbies, and I had to figure out how can I convert these into a hustle. So I started doing that. I took the lash class in December of 2021, and I've been running with it ever since then. I decided, in conjunction with doing lashes, I'm gonna add this makeup service because I get compliments pretty much everywhere I go. Nothing cocky, but people do be like, oh, I love your makeup, I love your eyebrows. I'm like, okay, bet. So let me see if I can draw on some clientele with that too. When it comes to fashion, like I told y'all, I was big into fashion. I was like, okay, that's another hustle I could add to the whiteboard, to my plan of how I'm about to take over the world without having to do a 9-to-5 for the rest of my life. So, right now I do have a civilian job in conjunction with everything that I'm doing for my business, but that's because you gotta have money to fund your dreams. And I get my disability, but I also have bills, you know what I'm saying? So you got to make everything work and balance everything out, and I'm not giving up the lifestyle that I've created for myself, so I have to have multiple sources of income, and I just always been like that. But yeah, getting out of the military or knowing that time was coming, that really pushed me to put things into effect and stop playing with my time, stop playing with my talents, and here I am today, still going, still learning, growing, and still adding services, still taking classes, you know what I'm saying? Stay tuned, y'all. I got so much more coming for you. And I'm excited to share everything with y'all. But we're getting to the end of this video, so I wanna go ahead and thank everybody that's tuned in with me thus far. Shout out to all 28 of my loyal subscribers. Go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. And thank you to my model, Shai, for pulling up and sitting here for this 2-hour makeup session that I have managed to get into a 19-minute video. That's what's up. And I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that has, played a role in my success and motivated me to keep going and try to be as supportive as they could in their own ways. And I hope that, if you're out there and you're trying to grow your business, just stick with it and try to learn as much as you can from every situation. It might not seem like this is something you're supposed to learn from. You might be, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening, but 9 out of 10 is probably a lesson in it. So just keep your head up, keep going, keep grinding, keep promoting your brand. You could drop your information in my comments and I'll check out what you're doing. It's all about showing love, like I said, and I'm gonna keep on saying, it's enough money out here for everybody. So go ahead and drop it so I can show y'all some love as well. If you love this look, then leave me a comment, like the video, share it, do all that good stuff. Show Shai some love, show my model some love. Yeah, so thank y'all so much for tapping in with me again. I'm gonna see y'all very soon. I got another video coming out this week, so subscribe to my channel so you don't miss that and turn on your notifications. Follow me on all social media platforms at A Life Size Experience and Life Size Experience. I'm on everything, y'all. I'll see y'all real soon. Can't wait. Thank you so much for being here. Be blessed, y'all. I'm out.
Tell me that you want it, that you need it, how bad you really want it. What, how bad you really want it.